Hello YouTube, LKS Climbing here with another video. Today we're talking about an issue that is very close to my heart, something that's not spoken about enough. It's the fears and anxieties around bouldering and what you can do to overcome them.
Got my fingers on the post, avocado and toast, leather seats, jet plane, always ready to go.
Fear in bouldering is a very natural thing. It comes in many forms, with a fear of falling, an anxiety of heights, and just a performance anxiety. But it's something that you can overcome, and it is something that is definitely profound. Let's go and explore it. Before we get into the technical aspects of bouldering and climbing, there's something that we want to talk about first and establish, and that's actually falling off the wall. When you boulder, yes, you are going to fall. It's part of it. It's part of the sport. It is scary, it is dangerous, and it's not necessarily injury-free. But I want to give you some tips and tricks to allow you to reduce the risk of your injuries. When you feel yourself falling off, it is imperative that you relax. You don't want to tense up. If you tense up like this, when you fall, your body will be tense and it won't relax and bubble its way through. Our bodies are designed to take some form of impact. Use that, relax. It's also important you fall in a specific way. We're going to talk about how we fall off and an exercise to do that. But when you fall off, you want to make sure you relax. Drop to the ground, absorb the impact with your knees. If you need, roll backwards, keeping your arms and elbows tucked in. If you keep stuff tucked out, you will snap and break things. We don't want to do this. This is an easy risk to reduce by not sticking them out. I'm going to talk you through a little exercise that you can now do to build up and learn how to fall. Okay, so let's practically talk about when you're actually on the wall and scared of falling. It's a very valid thing to be scared of. What I want you to remember is you've got to relax and you try and let yourself, if you can, let yourself dangle on the wall before you fall, but sometimes I understand you're not. So what you're going to do for your little falling exercise is we're going to get on the wall and we're just going to gently drop off, okay? Slowly building up where you go to, slowly building up your scale of fall. Progressively do it up the climb until you're not quite at the top, but near the top, and then you'll have a good go. One thing I like to do in my warm-up is do the whole climb. Then climb half the way back down, then dropping off. Relaxing my knees when I drop. This is that mentality of during my warm-up, I'm gonna do this. You've done some falling practice, now it's time to get yourself warmed up. This is a key important part to reducing the risk and reducing your anxiety because it means it's going to reduce injury risk and try and prevent injury. Here's a video up here or there, up there, about what you can do for a warm-up, but it's really important and we're going to bang on about this. Get your blood flowing, your body moving, and get yourself on the wall. Today we're going to give you a little extra thing to add into your warm-up. It's about actually falling while warming up. So when I'm warming up, I like to get on the wall and I like to climb easy climbs. Halfway through one of them, I'm gonna climb down halfway, then drop off and use my best practice of falling. This warms up my knees and my body to the idea of falling and does it in a safe, controlled way. That means when I get on the harder climbs, my body's already potentiated into how to fall. So you've done that, you've done your warm up, you're getting yourself warm, and then you're like, time to get on the wall. And this is where, again, I want you to really practice that falls that we've talked about in the previous section. Get your body used to falling off in different ways. Sort of do some jumps off the wall almost. So I might get myself on this nice easy climb and I might actually just, jump sideways. I'm warming up my whole of my body chain used to getting onto those falls. And then I might start to push it. And as I push the grade through the warm up, I'm looking there to decide what I'm gonna do because I'm still warming up myself. Start to push where I'm going to fall off from. So in this corner, it's a little bit of a scary place to be. So I'm actually going to get myself halfway up on the corner and then try a fall and see what it feels like. I'm basically building up a bit of an awareness during my warm up, on what I can do in terms of falls. Get myself up in this corner. And this is quite a scary place to be, quite spread out. I've done all the principles of the fall. I'm exposing myself to it. Climbing isn't just a physical game. It's as much mental as it is physical. In our last video, we talked about trusting your feet and how you could route read to learn how to get your footwork better, it's very much the same here. If we're anxious and scared about a climb, we're less likely to complete it. So before you climb, you're going to close your eyes, you're going to visualize yourself making your way up the route. Now we're going to take this one step further today. We're going to positively visualize. We're going to visualize ourselves finishing that final hold. I'll do that with you now. Visualization and that mental aspect and that mental exercise I wanted you to work on. Like the previous video, we're going to visualize ourselves doing it, but we're actually going to positively self-talk our way through it. So this white here has got a bit of a dynamic move. Now, I might not know the move that I'm going to do, but the key is that I can try the move and I can visualize myself doing the move. So I'm going to go there, close my eyes, and I'm right. I'm actually going to open them to see what I'm going to do, but I'm going to close my eyes, I'm going to go right up like that. I can make the move. I can make the move. And that's a real key thing to do. Part of the visualization, and one that we're going to have in its own separate category, is positive self-affirmations. This isn't something we do enough in climbing, it's something I'm massively trying to work on myself. It's about saying to myself, I can do that move. I know how to do that move. I'm strong enough. Because a lot of the time your body is way stronger and it's your mind that gives way. So as you'll say, doing that dynamic move, you're going to say, I'm going to catch that move. So we're going to actually go and practice that now on some harder climbs and actually feel ourselves go, right, I can do this dyno. I can do and hold onto that small hold. My foot is going to stay on that small hold there. That's a real key one, is telling your feet that they're okay, because it's amazing what you can stand on. So we're still on that same white climb as in that previous section, but we're going to be even bigger with our positive affirmation. Instead of just saying, I can do it, we're going to be specific. I can drive through my left leg to catch the holds. And I'm pushing myself here. This is quite early on in my session. I'm really going to push myself. So I might get on the wall. And one thing you might want to try is just try the move to see what it feels like. So you can start to understand, right, okay, I can jump up. You know, really positive affirmations. So when we do it, should we give it a go? And as I do it, I'm going to talk to myself. Now, I don't mind talking to myself. I'm a bit weird like that. I'm talking to the camera now, I'm talking to you guys on YouTube. You're my friend today. You can always say these things in your head, or you could just whisper them. You might get some weird looks, but climbing walls are very nice places. I can do this. But I'm not going to finish there. I'm going to carry on positively talking. Right, I can make it to the top. My feet is trusted on those holds. Oh, here's a small hold, bit like we were just talking about. This hold here, nice and small. My foot will not fall off. I'm not allowing myself any ability to be negative. Gonna climb back down because that's nice and safe. And again, you can be saying to yourself, I still have energy left to climb down. So we've talked about how to get over a fear of falling. We're giving ourselves positive affirmations on being able to get up the wall. We're telling our feet that they're going to stay there. But how do you expose yourself to harder and stronger climbs? Well, there's two ways we can do this today. A, progress yourself slowly through your session, slowly building up to those harder climbs. So you're building your confidence. Do climbs you've done before at the start of the session, so you know that you can do them. If there's a certain style of climb you like, if you don't know what the different styles of climb, check out our next video. That's something we're going to be looking into. And just try something that you like. Once you've got yourself nice and warm and your head's starting to go, now start to push the boundary. One thing I like to do is pull on lots of harder climbs, but not actually do anything apart from the first move. So I'm exposing myself to the harder movement, but I'm not actually exposing myself to the risk. And then as I build myself through, I start to project climbs, a principle that we're going to introduce in a future video, but the idea is very simple, that you don't try and do all of the climb. You might just do certain harder moves and expose yourself to those harder climbs. Have a friend along with you to give you some motivation, but remember, anxiety is there for a reason. It's your body's emotional reaction to you understanding a risk environment. Bouldering is a risk-based environment, so anxiety sometimes is good. If you feel yourself pushing yourself too far, it's okay. It's part of the sport. Open the door, but don't go through it too much. And that way you should stay relatively injury-free, but still be able to push yourself and overcome some of those fears in climbing. I'm now going to pop on the wall and show you what I mean by trying those harder moves. So I climb about V4, V5, so I'm going to jump on some V6s, some V7s. When I say jump on, I mean walk up to the wall and get myself in that position. We're now at that stage that we're getting to the point of the video and to the point in my climbing session and your warm-up on your anxiety levels where we can really start to push the boundaries. Now this wall behind me has some really hard holds on it, some really hard moves. And as I said before, we're gonna actually go through and try some of those harder moves. So this green behind me is a V4, pretty hard, I struggle with it. I'm just gonna get myself on the first start move and I'm gonna just try and hold myself on the wall. Now I'm not gonna try and do anything more than that because I know it's really hard. I'm actually then gonna try and climb halfway up the other holds and try those middle holds in the middle. Now, you may not know what are the hardest moves on a route, so project it. Again, we're gonna discuss this in another video, but just climb up easier route and just feel what those holds feel like. See if you can get yourself in position. Let's try that on this green one. So I'm just working my way up something super easy. So I'm gonna try and get myself in the position for these guys. And then I'm there. And you know what? Okay, so the next move probably looks something like this. Oh, and I bailed. Now that's okay. I'm not sure I'll ever be able to do that move, or if I will, it'll be in the future. Now, what have we just done previously? I should be able to say to myself, I can do that move. One thing I do when I'm projecting is I'll feel the hold and go, actually, that's okay. So when I know I'm getting to it, it's nice and good. Well, there you go, guys. There's your first steps into your journey of overcoming your anxieties and fears within bouldering. All I want to say is respect the wall, respect the rock. It's going to be a long, arduous roller coaster of a journey. Have self-belief, have self-patience, and I'll see you on the wall soon. Please subscribe to our channel. We're still new, we're still trying to grow. If you enjoy our content, let us know what you like about it, and we'll see you in the next video.